coming back to you now.
Oh, man. Thank you, Wolf, for that joke. Dream is here, 5-3. Doesn't really come out too often for SK Telecom, but it's just because they have so many strong players, especially Innovation kind of taking that Terran spot for a very long time. I think Dream didn't really come out much in round 1 from what I remember.
He's 4-0 versus Reality in official and unofficial matches.
Yeah.
That's also not going to be very good for Reality's confidence going into this one.
I would say Dream's best matchup is not TBT, but at the same time, I still would favor him over Reality here.
Yeah, I would agree. It kind of goes back to that same sort of experience, as well as the just his recent results. He's actually one of the best Terrans in the world. Some people would say he's second best right now. He just recently dethroned Life again in the Star League, so keep that in mind. Even though that's a completely different matchup, this is like confidence-wise, I don't feel like Reality has it right now. Reality is definitely very good and has played some of the most fun mech games we've ever seen.
That's for sure. And let's see what he's got prepared here for Echo. I would not be surprised if he's just very comfortable with mech and he wants to do it again. Against a different matchup. I don't think it really matters in his mind. Maybe he just plays mech against every matchup. Who knows? We don't really get to see much of him.
Yeah,
it's a shame.
Yeah, we really don't, and I hope we do see more of him in the future. He's a great asset for the team.
Yeah, he really is. And maybe after that last win, he gets another chance here. And let's take a look now at our predictions for the matchup. It's another 6-0.
That it is. We were wrong about Deer, but I feel like the discrepancy in these two is much higher. Dream is just much more favored.
Dream even looking a little bit bored in the lobby. These guys not talking much. Wouldn't be surprised if they don't really know each other, not that friendly. But
Dream's a kind of quiet personality usually. Every now and then he does say something, but we're going to jump into this one right here, right now, guys. A Terran versus Terran on Echo.
here in the top left in the red for SK Telecom T1, it is Dream.
And down here in the bottom right for Samsung Galaxy Con, it's Reality.
Not guilty.
Not guilty.
Yep.
There was no subliminal guilty messages when he played on the screen earlier. That happened.
Although I would love to see Guilty come out again. Well, he had that one good game against TY, and then I think he lost the next game he played.
And that's the only games he's played, right? Only 2, I believe.
Yeah, from what I remember.
But he looked so good versus TY. It was like pretty incredible. And
just his decision-making in that game, really. His macro was slipping. Maybe he himself and the team doesn't really feel like he's ready yet to play more of these games, but I mean, they gave him some chances, and he did perform.
Yeah.
So.
Well, Dream 70-30 here in the fan vote. And
it's actually funny. I just realized it's Dream versus Reality.
Whoa.
Yeah. We've had Fantasy versus Reality as well.
I didn't even think about that.
This is Dream versus Reality now.
There was a comic that was published recently about how Koreans choose their ID.
Oh yeah, that was
all
so
from
funny.
A Bohemian Rhapsody song.
Yeah.
It's kind of funny how this has happened before.
Yep. We've had Panic versus Terror as well. Mentioned that yesterday.
Yeah. Well, you know, Korean players do choose IDs that oftentimes seem meaningless and oftentimes are meaningless. I mean, sometimes you ask a player whether you got ID, you just thought, oh, I saw an ST can on my desk when I made it, or something like that. And
yeah.
Well, one of my friends who just recently got into gaming, not really a big gamer, not a big competitive gamer, he told me he made his ID, I drink Milkus, because he had a Milkus on his desk. He doesn't even really drink Milkus that often, but he's like, that's who I am now. That's my online persona. And that's how this happens sometimes.
Yeah. Look at this. Very committed scouting here from Reality. That SCV is going to be out on the map for a very long time. He's also going for a Reaper. So he definitely does not want to die to anything early here from Dream.
Yeah. Safety first for these two again. Just trying to play it carefully. And the Reaper is going to come out around the same time. So If they run into each other, that could get weird. I don't think that'll happen. Multiple Reapers queued up here, actually, for Reality. Okay. He really wants to know.
And that's going to give him a pretty big advantage. If he can get the 2-on-1 with his Reapers and get in the main before many Marines are made. I mean, we already see a reactor after a very fast CC, a faster one from Dream compared to Reality.
Oh, this is how the awkwardness I was talking about. High ground vision, kind of important.
But at the same time, he may be able to bait Dream's Reaper in here and fight it straight up with the second Reaper. Let's see how it goes.
I think that's exactly what he wants to do.
Oh, but Dream very smartly here. It will back off.
I don't know what that second SUV was doing on there. Maybe a bad rally. Not sure, but...
Yeah, possibly.
This is really interesting because 2 Reapers can definitely get a lot of information here. And possibly a kill or 2, depending on how this works out.
Yeah. If Dream's got good positioning, it should be okay. But look at this. Reaper's out. He will be able to kill it down and maybe even snipe this SCV.
Yep.
Delay that CC so much.
And the Marines can't contest this yet. In fact, he actually could delay this again. Oh, he doesn't know. If he knew, he would definitely do it.
Oh, here he comes. Back in. Oh, it's not going to finish. More delays.
This is so much damage. I think this is, again, one of these builds where you've seen somebody studies how Dream likes to expand in this matchup and is trying to punish him for it. He's going to escape with this. One of those Marines is, like, basically dead. One more shot will do it. He's going to get another SCV here, it looks like. He's going for it. Greedy, but gets it.
Nice move
Shoot him
from
one more
Dream.
time.
Oh, one health. Gets out.
And one of those Marines is one shot away from death as well.
Wow.
What a brave Marine to try to chase that Reaper. 4 kills on that Reaper in total.
Oh, boy.
He killed 4 units, 3 SCVs, and a Marine. So pretty nice little edge here for Reality.
Yeah, and sometimes in this matchup, if you do a lot of damage early on, you can go back to the base and take slight leads. But Dream getting out 2 Marines at a time, he should be okay as long as he splits them against the Hellions. So it's not going to be that case here.
Well, he's coming up here, see what he can find.
Look at that spread.
He's not going to find anything against that, obviously, but he wants to kind of like control the map a little bit, see if there's a wall at the front, see what kind of units are being made, see if he can spot a drop. He's just barely out of vision of this. Does he have anything at home? 2 Hellions just popped
Making
out.
a Viking, too.
Is that his first or his second? It's his first one. It's funny, he's actually researching Cloak and getting a Viking. The Vikings going to come out here and help out, about the retreat, but...
And then he does cancel that Cloak.
Okay, yeah, cancels the Cloak and gets a Raven.
Uh-oh, all these SCVs are bouncing up. There's 4 of those Hellions in here.
He needs to pull like 2 of those to, take the damage. Okay, he comes back to the rest of his units. He's losing some mining time, but really nice crisis management here. Oh, or maybe not.
Some of those SCVs really, really low. 6 kills.
It could have been much worse, but it was still almost like really good of a defense until the last second. Nope. Physics engine in StarCraft 2 is pretty cool. I like watching those pieces fall down the cliff.
Yeah.
Reaper, what did he see? I'm actually
that's the question. Wow, you're really zoomed in.
He saw, I don't know why that is, but like for some reason my computer was zoomed in. I can't zoom out either. But
all right, it's all good.
Anyway, he saw everything.
Yeah, saw the second factory.
Saw the tech lab on the starport. Knows he's up against Meg, which I think he's going to be fine with, considering that he is also going down that path.
Yeah. Lots of Hellions from both players. It's been the biggest committal here. And it looks like Dream wants to use that extra gas on actually a lot more Vikings. Again, taking kind of the path that his teammate did in the last game, try to get that air control very early on.
Well, this little medevac, okay, he's going to run into the CC. He's going to try to slow this down. He actually might be able to snipe it if he commits. Not quite. But it's good that he decided to do that because he delayed the CC and he also didn't fly into the Viking fleet that was waiting to shut him down. And Blue Flame for both. Armory now coming up for Dream. And we're going to see But basically, these two players go different ways to the same end, and not even really that differently, to be frank. These guys are doing basically the exact same thing. Yep. A safety tank out for Reality, but otherwise pretty much the same.
Nice little snipe there. Dream trying to, looks like, split up his Hellions there for a little while. And he will go for a drop while attacking the front. Maybe distract Reality, get those Hellions in the back.
Yeah, I feel like that tank is going to do him a lot of good for Reality. Like, it's going to really help zone these Hellions out.
Oh, yeah. Blue Flame is about to finish, though, for Reality, or rather for Dream.
Yeah.
And he is going to...
Drop's trying to sneak in there.
Oh, but look at this. All these Vikings in position.
Oh, my God. Even if he boosts, he's never going to get through that.
Yeah. Medevac also very low. Nice little scan there. Sees the entire production of Dream.
And what that tells Reality is, oh, okay, you don't have any air. You've committed to factories, I've committed to air. And that's a really cool scout. He's like, okay, you're going to have the tougher ground army here in a second, but if I have the better vision, you're not necessarily going to be able to use that.
We saw some, double Viking production out of Dream, but he did stop it for a while.
Yeah.
And looks like Reality now wants to put down a bunch of turrets just to be safe against drops. Because I guess he's noticing, the pretty heavy Hellion production still being out here, and just wants to be safe, I suppose.
Yeah, at this point in time, too, I want to point out that there's not a single Raven on the map for Dream. So even though not only does Reality have the lead in air, but he also has that Raven which can further his lead. And it almost has 200 energy. In 5 seconds it will, and that'll give him the ability to drop 2-point defense drones or a ton of auto turrets. So a lot of utility there. And this drop finally might find a place. Wow. These Hellions might finally touch the ground. Here they go.
Blue Flame has finished as well. Some of those SCVs bunching up.
Oh, good shot there, but he is going to get denied. Oh, almost. So close.
He burns the tail of one of those guys, but that's about it.
Could have been scary. And Reality continues to produce a ton of Vikings. Even with his lead, it's about to be 12-5.
Oh man, look at all those Hellions. He is about to finish up an armory too, so those will all be into Hellbats as well. Already Dream has his armory up, just making a bunch of Hellbats.
Yeah, there's in total 16 Hellions for Dream, 19 for Reality. Make that 21 as he just added 2 more. 2 Hellbats coming in here with that faster army, and some of these units were weak from earlier. He's getting a ton of kills here.
Look how much damage he's getting done.
So much.
And look at this, at the same time at the third base, a bunch of Hellions rolling in, and he's not microing his SCVs.
Yeah, he's no answer for this. He needs to pull those away. So much more damage could have been done there, actually, if Dream had paid attention.
Oh, and at the same time, he's not really dealing with the harass of his third base well. 16 SCVs go down, and Dream just backs off. That's all he's got to do. All he has to do now is defend.
Yeah. And with the faster factories he powered up, he has... Actually, they're even in siege tanks, but he does have a faster production of them. He's going to have 10, and he's going to have that defender's advantage. And he just needs to get in a good position, and he needs to be careful about these Viking fights because he's never going to win an air fight versus Reality because Reality has those 2 PDDs. He has the better Viking count, and like he sees it with his barracks, and he's like, oh my god, he's going to be realizing like that is, you have air control, man.
Well, he's going to be damn happy he made a Thor, that's for sure. Wouldn't be even surprised if he added a couple more.
He should.
Looks like he will go for Vikings instead.
He's so out of position here. Okay, the tank siege up first, though, and that's very important.
Gonna try to land the Vikings in the back here and just take the ground fight. I think that's a very smart idea. Because now all the air army of Reality is just floating around the air all alone. He's got no ground support. He's going to be forced to back off. Yeah,
I feel like Reality could have tried to do something similar there, but he was a bit slow on the draw, and at that point it was not a good idea anymore. In a better position here, and does have vision, of course. Doesn't have to scan it all like Dream does to find these units. Wow, this is a tense moment. I mean, Dream's in a pretty good spot with 4 bases. Reality still has air control, but it's not going to matter if he doesn't have a ground army to support it.
Yeah. I'd love to see Reality like switching some Banshees, because he's got total air control. This is how you win the air control. It looks like he's trying to take back the ground, but if you look at the tank count, it's 14-6. It's going to take a very long time to get that back.
Yeah.
And all the while, that 4th base of Dream just mining up.
Yeah, I also want to point out that Dream has +1, and Reality hasn't even started +1. I hadn't even thought about it, it looks like. I'm going to lose a medevac here. Whoa, this is desperation if I've ever seen it, but it could do a lot of damage.
Yeah, actually going to snipe out 3 tanks. But at the same time, Dream knows a lot is away from the fight, and he's just going to roll over what Reality's got back at home.
This is the problem, you know, Vikings can only get you so far, Vision can only get you so far. You need an actual tough army that can walk in and kill stuff. And this is exactly what Dream is going to do. The Vikings at home should easily be cleaned up. They're not really fighters. They're ranged units. They're meant to control the skies. They're not meant to control the ground. And eventually the Thor with a good repair here should alone be able to push us back. Even has +1 on these units, whereas the Vikings of Dream do not have +1.
Yeah. Now trying to come in here onto that production. Getting, you know, Dream has lost a lot of SCVs, but if you look at straight-up armies, Dream is way, way ahead.
And if you ever lose control of your ramp in TBT, you usually lose the game. You can't reinforce. You can never go down that ramp because your opponent's got tanks there. Even one tank finds his way into the third base. He's going to get some damage on here. These Vikings still aren't cleaned up, but they're about to be. They're all in the red.
Oh, and he's not microing them either.
Just one tank is getting microed instead. Well, he even gets that tank seized up in a pretty nice spot here. Bye-bye, Vikings. Well, I don't think I've ever seen as many ground Vikings as what I saw in this game out of Reality.
Yeah, a bit of a different kind of desperation move, like you were saying. But
what a strange game this has turned out to be totally frank.
Oh, yeah.
Well, this is essentially the beginning of the end, or actually maybe the end of the end of this game. Is
yeah. Take a look at those supplies. Yeah. He's only got what he's got in his main. He's losing his third base. He has no mining there. And even the Thors are just going to be able to fight this straight up.
Scan here finally just to reveal to see if there's anything else up there, if it's safe to walk up. It is safe, in fact. And Hellbats are going to chase siege tanks. Look at the reinforcements.
Yeah. There's the GG scan in the main. Running all of his SCVs in. That's going to be it. GG. SK Telecom will take the win on the backs of Dream, one of their star players. It's going to be a 3-1 here. Deer, the only player on that Samsung lineup to get a win.
Solid play out of Dream. I liked Reality's opening. He had some cool ideas. His Reaper play was really smart. It was obviously very well planned. And also his air control plan was good, but he didn't have anything with it. It was like just Vikings and a Raven. If you have a bunch of Vikings, you have a Banshee or two, then suddenly somebody has to respond. Yeah. What we saw there after that ground fight was a bunch of Vikings just floating there, doing nothing with a Raven to support, but no Banshees. Look at what Innovation did. That's the strength of doing something like this, having the Banshee.
And you don't even need that many, to be honest. Add in like 3, maybe 4. You've got yourself a game. You know, what Dream probably would have done is just committed heavily and try to do a lot of damage, but still, I think Reality may have had a chance of holding off, or at least doing a ton of damage.
Yeah, I mean, it's almost like you want him to commit the Thors or something so he can have a better siege tank count and then use the Vision to just zone out the Thors. It was just basically a unit composition that was destined to fail if you didn't add either Banshees or a larger siege tank army, because Vision alone is good, but if your opponent has so much more units than you, Vision is not enough. Especially when we're talking about this many Hellbats as the composition for both players.
Well, Reality looking kind of sad. On the other hand, Dream here pretty happy with this win. Looked actually pretty pumped after taking that one. You know, it wasn't actually a very easy win for Dream. Just, you know, slight advantages getting him ahead there. A really good fight. Eventually just playing it out.
Yeah.
And SK, they should be pretty happy with that win. They're on top right now, and this is even going to put them ahead farther. They're now 3-0 in Pro League for this round. And
they're ahead of Spendo because they had the same indicator at +2, so they're going to be +4 now, I think?
I think they were +3, now they're going to be +5.
Okay. Well, Deer took a win, and that's really important for Samsung because Deer seems to be their most consistent player right now, even though he's one of the most inconsistent players in the league. And for him to have another win against such a good player, especially in that matchup, and the way he did it, the confidence he showed, I think that's a really good sign for Deer himself.
Really cool game there. Actually, if Samsung Galaxy had won, I would have given him the MVP. Just to hear, you know, what he thinks about the matchup right now. Really, really curious about that. And taking a look now at our points, SK Telecom T1 ahead here, the only team at 3-0 and a +5 indicator.
Yep. And, you know, Spenu taking that loss. They're now dropping down to 2. We see Samsung down there at -3 and Prime, of course, at -9 with the indicator.
Yep. The big surprise on that one is that CJ Antis right now is 1-2. They took a loss to MVP. Just think about that right now. They were the winners of round 2. And that is how volatile Pro League can be at times.
Well, you know, the players that beat him yesterday, if you haven't watched those games, go back and watch the VODs. Incredible builds. We talked about this a lot yesterday, and, you know, it became a reality today. Maru won, and now he is tied with Hero. He has the less losses, but it doesn't matter because it's only wins. But Hero was significantly ahead, and now Maru has caught him.